What's up, you guys? Void here, coming back at you all with more of a speculation video regarding information we received yesterday. Commander 2018 is going to be releasing August 10th of this year, right around the same time that Commander 2017 was released last year. Now, I just found out this information, kind of skipped over it a bit, kind of overwhelming how much we got over the last couple days, but it looks like we're going to be getting Planeswalker Commander options yet again. It's not confirmed as to whether or not they're the Commander options or just Planeswalkers that are included in the deck, because that is also a possibility. But it does look like, since we are getting 4 and not 5 decks, we will be getting multicolored Planeswalker Commanders. Now, the cool thing here is that so many people like playing Super Friends decks. Now, what better to have as a Super Friends Commander than a 5-color Planeswalker? The whole idea around that is just fantastic. So now you have Planeswalker Tribal, and it's actually tribal because your commander is also a Planeswalker. That is fantastic, because we've seen so many people that play Progenitus, even people now playing Ramos Dragon Engine, which is a pretty good option, but can't really beat a good value Planeswalker as your commander. So that is pretty cool. Since it's also going to be 4, it means that it's not going to follow the same color pie, color wheel, whatever you want to call it, that we're used to in Commander 2016 and prior. So now there's a chance that we're going to have a 2-color deck, a 3-color, 4-color, maybe a 5-color deck. Hopefully that's the case. We might get a monocolor deck. So the possibilities are there, and it's just fantastic. But again, it's not confirmed as to whether or not those are going to be the commander options. It's just very likely that they are going to be. But now on to more speculation about Commander Anthology 2. Now, the original MSRP for Commander Anthology was $164.99, and it featured 4 different commander decks: Heavenly Inferno from 2011, Evasive Maneuvers from 2013, Guided by Nature from 2014, and Plunder the Graves from 2015. And all of these decks featured a premium version of those face commander options, so only one of each, which was a big problem I think a lot of people had with this, was that if you're going to go with the foil treatment, you might as well go on all of the commander options for that deck. So if you really liked Rune of the Hidden Realm, unfortunately he wasn't available as a foil option, but still you have the most important ones on the front there getting the foil treatment, which I think Kalia of the Vast, one of the most highly sought after ones from this set, because first of all, the beautiful artwork right there, and plus she's also a pretty popular commander that has been expensive for a while. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that not every single commander option from those decks got the foil treatment, but nevertheless you still have some pretty cool ones like Marin of Clan Neltoth. And even though the Evasive Maneuvers deck wasn't super valuable, didn't have a lot of expensive cards, Derevi's artwork also looks pretty cool as a foil. Planeswalkers usually hold their value, and Freyalise, being a premium foil version of a commander card that has never been printed before as a foil, I think is definitely a big reason why not only Freyalise but a lot of the other options are going to be highly sought after for that reason. Now, just to clarify, this was a specialty set. So if we're going to be thinking about finances, we have to think about how well this set is going to hold its value, or if it's going to increase in value, because there is a very small chance that we get many reprints like these, and especially with the foil treatment, that's a whole nother aspect. So as far as the original Commander Anthology set goes, it's still maintaining its price close to MSRP. I've seen it down a little bit, around 150. I've seen it maybe a little bit lower than that, but it hasn't gone down. It's not like Plane Chase Anthologies where some people just didn't know what the hell it was. Most people were just going to scrap that for pieces, get cards like Maelstrom Wanderer, stuff like that, and Bloodbraid Elves. There's at least 2 of those in there now. So Plane Chase Anthologies kind of failed. It just sat on the shelf, and nobody really cared about it too much. Commander Anthologies is actually good. It has 4 played decks. People have played with these before, and the Commander product line has been one of the most successful product lines for Wizards of the Coast in recent memory. So putting 4 pretty popular decks in a set, the only problem that you would ever have is accessibility. $160, $165 is still pretty expensive, and if you're looking for this to be like a gift product, something you would give to someone during Christmas, something like that, a birthday, then yeah, it might be within that range that you're willing to spend, but I doubt it for many people entering the format. So as far as the product goes, when it comes to introducing someone to the game, it's not going to do its job. It's not something you're going to give to a brand new player unless you're a high roller. But still, as a product, you have to think about Wizards of the Coast, their perspective. This is the same company that makes a lot of board games, so finances isn't the only priority when it comes to making this set. They have to think about playability. So while I would love for them to just print the most expensive decks possible, maybe Mindseas from Commander 2013, because that one has the true name Nemesis that everyone loves in Legacy, the deck itself out of the box may not be the best compared to something like Atraxa, which is another thing. People have noticed that for the product information for Commander Anthology 2, we are receiving 13 premium foil cards as opposed to 12, so this obviously means that we are getting one of the decks from Commander 2016. Not confirmed it's going to be the Breed Lethality deck that is featuring Atraxa, which is currently the most expensive deck from Commander 2016. It makes the most sense. All of those decks had 4 premium foil cards because instead of 2 other Commander options that were all 4 colors, you had 3 that were only 2 colors. So makes perfect sense that now it's 13 instead of just 12. So we know we're getting at least one of those decks from Commander 2016, and we're probably only getting one of them. And it will likely be Breed Lethality because that is the most expensive one, and also that is probably one of the better ones out of the box anyway. So it would make sense, especially considering that they've reprinted popular decks like Plunder the Graves and Heavenly Inferno, 2 pretty expensive decks. So they have both things in mind. They want to build up the value, get people excited, but they also want the decks to be playable out of the box because that's what they do. They're a board game company as well, so they have to think about people playing with this set out of the box and not just, let me just put as much money into the Mindseas deck and make a pretty cool Storm variant with Jaleva, or make a Wheel and Deal type of deck with Nekusar. You got to be able to balance out with the other decks pretty well. So I already have my own little theories about what they could do. Obviously, they're going to have to skip one set unless they want to double up and say maybe put 2 decks from Commander 2013 or 2 decks from 2014. I don't know. Probably just going to be 1 Commander deck from a set, but they are going to have to skip at least one set. So they're probably going to skip, obviously, Commander 2017 that just came out, and there's really no rush to reprint that anytime soon. So the big question here is what set from Commander back in 2011 up to Commander 2016 should they skip? We know we're getting something from Commander 2016, so it comes down to, in my opinion, Commander 2014 or Commander 2015, because the first 2 Commander sets, Commander and Commander 2013, gave us just incredible decks. A lot of those Commander options are still seeing play today, and it would feel kind of cheap if they didn't want to include any Commander decks from those 2 sets, in particular because those have laid a brilliant foundation for their Commander product line and what we have expectations-wise. But this isn't to say that Commander 2014 or Commander 2015 was terrible. It just seems that if you were to pick the best deck out of Commander 2014, it was probably Guided by Nature, and the best deck from Commander 2015 was Plunder the Graves, and they already reprinted those 2 decks. Now, if they were to choose something from Commander 2014, it could very well be the Peer Through Time, because Teferi Temporal Archmage is a pretty cool combo commander. Maybe not the best out of the box, but still one worth considering, pretty popular as far as the Planeswalker commanders go. And Commander 2015, you also have pretty underrated, but not a lot of people have mentioned the fact that Wade into Battle is actually filled with a few really expensive cards. Blade of Selves, Urza's Incubator, and Magus of the Wheel are all pretty expensive, getting close to $10 each. I believe Urza's Incubator has shot up incredibly high since Commander 2017, Ixalan tribal cards, so that deck's value has gone up even though the Commander options are kind of bland. So that is definitely something. Out of the box, I thought it was a pretty decent deck, so that could definitely be an option, but I wouldn't be upset if they decided to skip Commander 2014 or 2015. To me, I think Devour for Power from the original Commander set in 2011 or Mirror Mastery, I think those 2 different decks, they give you pretty awesome Commander options that are holding their value, that are pretty expensive, and also extremely popular and fun to play with in the format. You also have Counterpunch. The only reason why I might be hesitant for that deck is because we had a reprint of Gave Guru of Spores, which is at least the 2nd most popular commander from that set. Carador hasn't had a reprint, so I don't really know, but Gave Guru of Spores was reprinted in 2016. Political Puppets, I don't think was fantastic out of the box, but it does have some value. Maybe not as much as the other sets, but it's not out of the question either. So for me personally, I would pick Devour for Power as the first deck. The second deck for me personally would be Power Hungry. You can't really beat good value creatures, and out of the box, you can't really go wrong with a token producer like that. That's just going to get you more tokens as the game goes on. That's just fantastic. The third deck for me would be Pure Through Time, because again, Teferi, highly sought after commander option as far as Planeswalkers go, and Breed Lethality, because obviously the most expensive one from 2016. Why not reprint it? Second option for me would probably be Mirror Mastery. Animar, getting a foil version of him isn't terrible. Mindseize, because hey, value, you get pretty good commander options aside from True Name Nemesis. You get Nekosar the Mindrazor and Jaleva, which are both pretty powerful commander options. If you put more money into the deck, it's going to be way more playable, which is another thing out of the box. I'm a little unsure about it, so that's why it's a secondary option for me. Wade into Battle because of the value I just mentioned, and Breed Lethality again. Now, a third option for me would be Mirror Mastery again, but this time from Commander 2013, we go with Eternal Bargain, because Oloro kind of makes up for the fact that control is usually weak out of the box by giving you awesome life gain during your upkeep, and you also get a foil version of Sidri Galvanic Genius, so that's not something I would complain about. Beautiful artwork. And we also have Wade into Battle again. I think it's just a pretty decent deck out of the box. And we also have Breed Lethality, but in reality, we could also go with Invent Superiority, just because it's the second most expensive deck from that set. And Bray is a pretty popular commander. Out of the box, it's not terrible. But those are just a few options. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think are the possibilities for Commander Anthology. The second time going around looking at these, I think there's still a lot of options that they can pursue. They've already made their decisions, but it hasn't been confirmed yet, so this is just speculation. Hopefully it's one of those few options that I have. But as always, you guys have a wonderful day. Void here signing off. See you all next video.